Hi everyone, welcome back to Jack and Filters, where we keep it going, we keep the tea real. Wait, I think I did that the wrong way. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Anyway, today, where's my pen? Oh, here it is. Today I've got part 2 of my last video. I've had about 10 people message me asking for it. When it's been, I was going to release it on Wednesday. I was going to do one weekly, but people keep asking for it, so I thought I'll just get it done today. This might be out today, as in Saturday, might be out tomorrow, Sunday. I haven't decided yet, depends how long it takes to edit. And I'm going out later, so I think it should be out tonight, hopefully. Now, I have got a few details that I missed on a few people that I did on video 1, but then we've also got 2 new people. So we're just going to get straight into it rather than wasting any time. So, do you remember Boy B? Now, he was the one who was from down south, second person, the one where we met on Wiz. Was it the one on... Yeah, the one where we met on Wiz. We called every day, everything like that. Now, I missed 2 major details out of this, which I got told after by Grace and Casper and Jess. Now, when we were talking, I made a Snapchat group chat with him. I made it with him, Casper, Jess and Grace. Now, we were all talking, and then Casper did something. Now, they didn't like each other, Casper and the boy. I can't remember why. Something happened. And Casper said something. I wish I had the screenshot. And if I do, I know I forgot the screenshot in the last video. I'll try and remember it today, this time. But he said something. Sorry, I got my notes. He said something to Casper. And Casper said something back. And he said something like, say that again and I'll beat your head in with a hammer or something. Or something like that. Or I'll come to your house and beat you with a hammer. Something like that. Out of nowhere. Now, Casper was like messaging me, how are you going to let this happen? I was like, oh, I can't really say anything, like, you're both as bad as each other. Looking back, he was worse, not Casper the boy, for saying that. So ever since then, they were not friends at all. No, I don't think it was that bad, but Casper does. Casper thought it was some, like, high crime or something. That's fine. Now, I've got 3 things down, but I can't say one of them. No, I might. Okay, just give me a minute. I'll say the 3rd one. Right, so this boy, on the one that broke up with me on TikTok, on the last day, or the last but one day, sometime before he broke up with me, he told me that he was speaking to someone else. And I was like, well, what? Excuse me? Like, you're in a relationship, you know, this isn't polyamorous. We're together, we're not a triangle, okay? Now, he was flirting or spoke. He didn't. I don't know which one it was. Either way, it's still bad. Because if you say you spoke to another boy while you're with someone, that normally means as in spoke, you know, as in flirting. Now, when I tell you I got so mad at this, I got so angry at this because, as well, our relationship, we'd never argued, or if we did, it was once. You know, something like that. Like that. And to speak to someone else, even though it was the last but one day or the last day or something, it doesn't matter, you still cheated, or kind of cheated, depends how you were speaking to him. But if it must have meant something significant if you mentioned it to me. Right, you can't even see me. Let me move the camera down. Yeah, it must have been something significant if you mentioned it to me, which makes me think maybe they were talking a little bit longer. Because if you were speaking to someone else, you wouldn't say, would you? You wouldn't openly admit to it. Let me just tick those off. So yeah, okay, let's move on from that guy. That was just filling you in on the last details. That took 4 minutes, oh my god. Okay, so we got to the boy that was from down south that I really loved. I missed him, everything was going well, but he couldn't be gay, he couldn't be out. So now we move on to August time, end of August, start of September. No, it would have been mid-August. Because I hadn't started college yet. So this boy, I met him on Wiz again. Okay, stop. I met him on Wiz again. I know, you can already tell Grace is laughing when she watches this. So we were talking for about... Okay. When I tell you this relationship was rushed, I mean it, because we got together within a week of knowing each other. I didn't ask him out, he asked me out. But, you know, obviously I'm not fully saying it was him, it was me as well. So we were speaking for a week. We played Fortnite with his friend. What was the name? I can't remember what the name was. Oh, I can't even say the name anyway. We played Fortnite with a friend, But I didn't want to go on the mic. I was like trying to see what he was like with his friend, and he was, he was all right. So I spoke to him. One night we played Minecraft and we fell asleep. We fell asleep on call together. So the next morning, so this would have been towards the end of the week that we first started speaking. He was said, "What would you do if I asked you out?" or something like that. And I was like, "Oh well, we've only been talking for a week. Like, it's a bit fast, isn't it?" It was like, "Yeah, but I mean, there's no rush. No, there's no time limit or something like that." I can't remember what it was. This was like, what, 6 months ago, 4 months ago, something like that. I was like, right, okay. And then, but after I got to know him, I was like, oh yeah, he's really nice. So I was like, okay, yeah, like, if you want to ask me out. So we did. Now, we were on call, but he asked me out on Wiz. So, yeah. Now this boy's going to watch this video. Oh, I've got to... Oh, right, I need to tell you something in a minute as well. This boy's going to watch this video, and I have nothing against him. We still speak as friends, because nothing toxic happened. That's why this video can't really be called My Toxic Exes, or whatever the other video was called. I changed the title like 3 times. We'll figure something out, don't worry about it. Okay, so we dated for a month. Now this was August to September time. Mid-August to mid-September, start of September. Now I just started college, and I started a college that I hated. So me and Jess went to this college. We both hated it. We were doing A-levels. A-levels were fine. It was just the college, and the atmosphere and it was just... Everyone already had their own little friend groups, weirdly. So me and Jess were alone. We weren't in any lessons together, even though we had the same subjects. Doesn't make sense. Oh, I could put this... Yeah, I'm going to put this up there. Now... so I don't want to sound like in a bad space, that makes it sound more dramatic than it is. I just didn't really enjoy it, so I moved colleges anyway. And when you just know, like, this boy, he isn't for you, like, it was good while it lasted, because we played Minecraft every day. Every day we played Minecraft, and our world got really good, actually. I've still got it now. But he lived way too far. It was like, what, 4 hours away, something like that. And I just knew we weren't going to meet, for reasons that he couldn't come and meet. For reasons that he couldn't come and meet. And I just knew it's not going anywhere. Like, if you can't meet, you can't do anything. Nothing's going to happen. So I did break up with him after a month. Right, I've said that. Now we've got over the relationship, the actual relationship. Oh, right. Every time he upset me, for whatever reason, if he did something to upset me, which sometimes he purposely did as a joke, but it's still, there's no, like, sorry, you're being rude. If I was upset, he would be upset that I'm upset and wouldn't speak to me until I apologise. Now that doesn't make sense to me. So I had to apologise every time I was upset, because he was upset that I was upset. It doesn't make sense to me. That was one of the reasons that I didn't like. Another reason is every day we called. We never called just us, or if it was rare, and it only lasted about an hour, because his friend always wanted to join every single time. So we had to call with his friend all the time. So we never actually got to call. And when we did, it was only at night, so we were asleep anyway. So that also annoyed me. Like, you never got time to speak to him one-on-one. And if you did, like, sometimes they would gang up and make jokes. Like, yeah, no, we're not going to be doing that today. Sort yourself out. Now, Casper, this is a second mention with Casper, because he said I didn't mention him in the last video. When we played Minecraft, we played with me, him, his friend, Casper, Grace, and then Grace's boyfriend. No, we're going to leave that for a separate video. You know what? We're going to get Grace in, and we're going to keep that for a separate video, because that is a whole other thing. Now, just 2 seconds, because my tea went cold last time. Every single day, when I tell you they argued, Casper and him, every single day, it was disgusting. Constantly arguing. It was like babysitting. I was the one to sort it out, because he was my boyfriend, and Casper was also my friend, so I was in the middle. Every time. So they would kill each other, and then they would start moaning to me, oh, he's killed me. Like, I don't care. Sort it out yourself. So then I just gave up. I gave the permissions to You know, like when you play Minecraft, you operate a member, all that stuff. I gave it to his friend because I just couldn't be bothered. In hindsight, I probably shouldn't have, because obviously she's gonna favour him, but you know, it's fine. So Casper's house got destroyed, my house got destroyed, because we lived in the same house. And it all just, after that, we just stopped playing, because Casper stopped playing, Grace was getting bored, I was getting bored, and then I broke up with him not long after anyway, so we stopped playing on that world. But they constantly argued with each other. Is there anything else to say? I don't want to miss anything like I did last time. I've said all of my notes, so I think that's everything. Other than we're still friends now, that's about it. Oh, another thing. When I broke up with him, I was like being really nice about it. I was trying not to, you know, hurt him or anything like that. Because, you know, it's not nice to break up with someone. It never is. It's always horrible. Unless they cheat on you. Which then it's fine. We'll get into that. Oh! Yeah, so, I was breaking up with him. On... Oh, I can't remember I need dates. I can't remember when I did it. And obviously I don't want him to be bothered. Like, I don't want him to be upset. But, you know, when someone seems so not upset, like they just didn't care anyway. That's what it was given. Obviously, I don't want him to cry, or I don't want him to angry or be upset, but maybe, you know, show some emotion rather than trying to be nonchalant. But, you know, let's try not to be nonchalant anymore, guys. I've had enough of it. I've had enough of... Shit. I've spilled... Oh, don't demonetize me. I've spilled my tea everywhere. I've had enough of boys being nonchalant and acting like they don't have feelings. Or even when they are nonchalant, not even acting it. Like, get a grip. Like... Grace asked me a question the other day. She was like, would you rather date a nonchalant boy or a needy, like, constantly messaging, constantly, you know, asking for pictures and everything? I was like, I said nonchalant because I can't deal with someone that's needy. I like it to an extent, but I also like my own personal space. So I need time apart from them as well. But... yeah, do you know what? Let me know what you think, because we said the same. We both said nonchalant. I need to know what you guys think. Nonchalant or needy. Just let me know in the comments. Now, we're getting into the good final relationship. This relationship is filled of things because it was my most recent relationship. It ended in January, mid-January. Now, he did block me, so he's not going to see this. And he blocked me out of his last act of love. Okay, we're getting a bit dramatic now, love. Let's calm it down. Now, I've said everything. Right, let's move on to the last relationship. Now, this boy, remember when I said I met someone in April? This is the same boy that I met in April that ghosted me because he wasn't in the right headspace or mind or something like that. Fair enough. It doesn't hurt to make a message. Does not hurt to send a message and say, look, I'm not looking for a relationship right now. After you spoke to me for a month, by the way. I'm not looking for a relationship right now. I'm happy to be friends, or I'm happy to... or I don't want to speak. You know, it's just anything other than ghosting. It's just sad, if you ask me. It's sad. I need to put that down because I've spilt it everywhere. No, he comes back in, I think it was October time. Because we got together just after my birthday, I think it was, or just before my birthday. Now, he messaged me on TikTok, and he sent, you know, the reactions at the bottom? Like, heart, nudge, thumbs up. He sent a heart, I think, or a nudge, or something like that. And I put question marks. It was like, oh, sorry, you know, I didn't mean to. I was like, yeah, it's fine. So then the conversation started. Bearing in mind, he kept me on TikTok. I don't know why. I removed him off Snapchat after, like, okay, after longer than I should have. I kept him there for like 6 months. Because I did really like him when we first started speaking. So he messaged me on there and we started speaking. I was on the way back home from college, the first college that I didn't like. Now, I'd just broken up with that boy before. So I wasn't really looking for anyone. Now, we were speaking for about a month. No, it couldn't have been a month. Half a month, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. It's a common trend I get with people after not speaking to them for very long. We know this, guys. Let's just... We're becoming new in 2025. We're going to start dating people after knowing them for a month. and going on dates rather than, you know, not. No, we're speaking, we messaged on Snapchat, and he was like, oh, do you want to meet up? I was like, oh yeah, okay, you can either come over here or we'll go somewhere. So he came over here, I asked my mum, and she was like, yeah, that's fine. It's safer to meet someone for the first time at your house than going out somewhere where you don't know. I think, anyway. Now, so we met up here. And he came over and we watched a horror film. It was like the something of Jane, the Autopsy of Jane Doe. Autopsy of Jane Doe, that's what it was. Oh, I should have wrote that down. So we watched that. And then, okay. Then he started, like, I turned my head because he was speaking. And then he just jumped at me and started kissing me. I was like, oh, okay. You know, why do they do that? Like, when you turn your head, they just think like you want to kiss. I was like, I just want to listen to what you're saying. So anyway, he started kissing me, and then then he stopped, and then he asked me, "Oh, do you want to be my boyfriend?" What? You've met me for one time, and you're asking me? No, I did like this boy, bearing in mind. So if I was in a better headspace of not being so blinded, you know, if from an outside view, I shouldn't have, but I said yes. So then, common pattern, remember, we moved too fast. So then he was like, okay, so we started kissing anyway more. And then my mum came back, so he met my mum. I think he met my nan. No, he met my nan a few weekends after that. And he was good with her. But when he met all my family, he didn't speak much. It was like one-word answers. It was like he didn't care. Like, it was nothing to them. And I get that. Like, he's here for me, but I'm really close to my family. Like, you need to make an effort. So when I met his mum, I had a whole conversation with her. I was talking to her. She was asking me how I am. You know, a full conversation, not one-word answers. No, I didn't meet his sister. She was either not there. I think she did some sort of club, or she was in a room. So I went to his house twice. And the first time, I was scared to meet his mum, but she was lovely. She was really nice. The second time, she wasn't. She wasn't nasty, but she was just moody. Like, you know, when people's like acting like, oh, you're here again. So I never went after that. He just always used to come over because he had a free bus pass as well, or a free travel pass. So it was easier. It was free for him to come over here. So we did that. Now I think we dated for 4 months. Bearing in mind. Now I think I've got the whole relationship down. Now let's get into the juicy stuff. Okay. This relationship was built on lust. He didn't think so. And I mentioned this to him. And I was like, I think this relationship is built off lust. It's not love. Like, yes, we have love for each other, but we don't love each other, if you know what I mean. It was more lustful. Now, I don't really know how to say it without getting demonetised. No, I'm going to skip that part. No, it was built on lust. And he didn't think so. So I was messaging. This was in January. I was messaging him. I was like, we need to talk because it's not working. Like, I don't feel loved. I don't feel fulfilled. I just don't feel right in this relationship. This isn't for me. Like, you're a lovely person, but you're just not for me. And he was like, I was like, I just needed some space and let me just see where I am at. And he was like, yeah, that's fine. And he was like, but if you don't feel like you love me after this space, so we gave each other a week of just, you know, apart. If you don't love me after this week, I'm going to be very angry. Excuse me? You're going to be very angry if I don't love you after this week. That instantly, I was like, yeah, no, I'm done. I'm done. Don't speak to me like that because I don't know who you think you are. You're going to be angry if I don't love you after a week. Oh God, we're already at 20 minutes. I don't want it to be over 25. So, let me just tick that off. I've got four more topics to do. So, I was completely done then. I was like, right, okay. Like, I just knew. So, I broke up with him. And then he was trying to say that I never loved him at all. I never cared for him. He mentioned that he might hurt himself if I go. Okay, let's not manipulate here, guys. Yeah, we don't do manipulation here. He was gaslighting me into saying that I would never... Because at the start, he was like, oh, I'm never going to leave after like a month. I was like, oh, okay, that's good. So, it was gaslighting me into saying I said that. I didn't. I don't. I've learned from my mistakes of moving too fast. I don't say I love you within the first week anymore. Your first relationships, you tend to, when you get more experienced. I'm acting like I'm a hoe. I've only been in 3. You get more experience, but so I was like, okay. So he's gaslighting me. He's trying to manipulate me into staying by saying he might harm himself. No, we don't do that here. I'm not falling for any of that. I never loved him, apparently. I never cared for him. So he blocked me as his last act of love, apparently. Okay? Like, you didn't do anything there, love. You didn't do anything there. Now, if we rewind a bit, I've just got a few other pointers. So one of the things that he mentioned to me, just a random thing that I remember, we were talking about, he was saying, oh, I'm thinking about moving out this year. Because he was at 18, I was only 17. I was like, oh, that's lovely, yeah. And he was like, yeah, it'd be nice to have my own space, because he didn't get along with his mum very well. He was like, oh, you could come over and stop sometimes as well. I was like, yeah, that'd be lovely. And somehow we got on the topic of cleaning. And I was like, oh, yeah, I quite like to clean, like, my room and that. When I can be bothered, like, if I'm in the mood for it, I like to do it. I was like, oh, yeah, you can clean, and I'll just hover around and watch. What? I'll hover around and watch while I clean. Like, you can tell there's a pattern where it doesn't seem like he cares that much at all. Like, he just doesn't have that thing about him. And, when you just, in your head, this guy isn't for you. As much as he's good looking, as much as you do like him, as much as you love him, you just know he's not for you. Okay, so my video just ended, so I'm just going to have to connect this to the other one. That really, really did annoy me. So yeah. So then we've done the gaslighting. I paid for everything. When I tell you everything. Everything. Meals. Presents. It took me months to find presents for him for Christmas. He went on the last but one day, Christmas Eve, and looked for presents for me. Excuse me, I was looking since like the end of November. I paid for meals, I paid for everything, like random presents. Yeah, he did give me things, like random things, like I've got that little astronaut there. Whoops, but that's about it. I paid for everything. And last but not least, about the moving too fast. He was already talking about marriage. He was saying, I'm the boy for him for life. He's going to marry me. I was like, whoa! Let's calm down a bit. We've been together, 2-3 months at this point? We are not talking about marriage, love. We are not talking about marriage. Too fast. That puts me off. When people move too fast, I get scared. And to be honest, I get scared and I'll go. I can't deal with it. I don't like it. But I think that's everything. That is everything of him. I've probably forgot things that Grace and Casper and Jess will probably tell me again tomorrow or later when it's up. But yeah, I just want to thank everyone for watching. I want to thank the engagement as well. I had 21 subscribers now from just one video. I appreciate it a lot, and I appreciate people's parents watching this as well. Grace's, Jess's, and that. So yeah, this is part 2 of my quote-unquote toxic exes, or manipulative exes, shall we say. That might be the title. But yeah, thanks for watching. I don't know what my next video would be. I'll figure something out, don't worry about it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.